A St. Louis County man says his daughter's medical bill was given to collections before he even received a bill.
But that's not the only reason he's fighting the charges. And tonight, News 4 investigator Chris Nagus is getting results.
Then she was struggling to breathe.
It was early June. Bob Mahacek's daughter was ill.
Almost like kind of hyperventilating.
He brought her to the hospital in South County.
They did recommend that she stay overnight, but she couldn't at St. Anthony's being a child. So we had to get the transfer down to Children's.
Mahacek was worried about his daughter, but wasn't overly concerned about the bill. St. Anthony's, now Mercy Hospital South, was considered an in-network provider with his insurance plan. But it turns out the ambulance provider was not.
I didn't know that if you're in network, I didn't know that you might have to deal with out of network.
More frustrating, how he learned about the charges.
Did you ever get a bill?
Never got a bill, got a phone call from the collection agent in India saying I owed this bill for $1,100.
According to this letter, Mahacek's insurance plan paid Abbott Ambulance $459. But because Mahacek's insurance isn't contracted with Abbott's parent company AMR, Mahacek owed an additional $1,100 for the 14-mile ambulance ride.
It seems like a pretty high rate for that.
And he still doesn't understand why the bill was turned over to collection so fast. The transport happened on June 3rd. By August 15th, it was in collections. The three big credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, have a policy. Medical debt won't impact your credit for at least 180 days. In May, Senator Dick Durbin told us he wants more than a policy. He wants it to be law.
It gives people some breathing space.
Speaking of breathing space, Mahacek will get some. This week we learned AMR canceled the trip from collections. On Tuesday, a spokesperson for Mercy South told me they would pay the bill. That's because Mahacek's daughter was transferred to a higher level of care. Agreements are in place to avoid headaches like this, but for unknown reasons, that didn't happen in this case. It's not something Mahacek will need to worry about anymore. The bill will be paid by the hospital, and it will not impact his credit. Mahacek tried dealing with the ambulance provider for weeks, but got nowhere. In this case, it took us getting through to the right person. A Mercy South spokesperson told me they are reaching out to AMR to get the bill worked out. Mahacek is relieved it's taken care of and said he would much rather spend $1,100 on something else. Chris Nagus, News 4.